perfect.
Yeah.
Tactically perfect. Execution incredible. Oh, it's like, oh, you're being a surgeon in there under pressure, yeah? Cold under pressure, yeah? Make every right decision, okay? Can be as the best you've ever been. This is the best you've ever been. You're fucking 8 months in the wait, 9, 10 months in the waiting for this, yeah? The best performance you've ever been comes up right now.
And it's time to meet his opponent and fellow contender for the WBC Super Middleweight World Title, representing Majestic Gym. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Daniel the
This is my life, this has set me up forever. This is my time now, I'm at the peak now. He's not taking that away from me. He's in my way of being what I want to become. That I train, I'm not training this hard for him to come take that away from me.
Scored so well. And it's the best performance I've seen from Dan Bond. That was great. Well done, Dan. Congratulations to the team.
So I'm Dan Bonner. I'm obviously world #1 at the minute for the WBC. I'm going to be fighting for the WBC World Title in Muay Thai, for the Super Middleweight World Title. We're about 5 weeks out now, but for me, if I'm honest, I could fight next week. I feel really good at the minute, really sharp. My weight's where I want it to be. Once that round starts, everything's okay. You don't really hear the crowd that much. You're focused. The hardest bit of a fight is walking out. That's the hardest bit.
So making his way to the ring then, all the way from Wigan, is Dan Bonner.
Because obviously the nerves and the butterflies and stuff. Once you're in that ring, no one else matters. It's me, it's him, and it's my coach as well behind me, and that's all that matters after that. Just staying kind of twigged onto what they're saying and just focusing in.
First time I saw Dan, he fought on a show where I was already at, and I could see him getting frustrated, and he was losing the fight and lost the fight convincingly. One of the best things that ever happened to him was losing that fight, because if he hadn't lost that fight, he wanted to come here.
It's the best decision I ever made. Not even starting Muay Thai, was coming here in this gym in Wigan. That was the best decision I ever made in my life. Having Kev as my coach, having the training partners I've got. I was on my way to being, and I still had a decent record before coming here, but I was on my way to becoming a very average fighter.
When my wife died in 2013, I set up this business. Well, we moved premises to this business, and it's been a full-time venture ever since. Muay Thai saved me. I mean, this physical building saved me. I owe a lot to Muay Thai and the fact that it's helped me and guided me.
I'm the current WMO World Champion at the minute. I'm the current Combat Fight Series World Champion. I'm the former WBC International Champion as well. There's a couple of European titles in there, and I'm again the current WBC World #1 as well. It's undoubtedly the biggest fight of my career up to now.
A lot of people consider strength and conditioning all about strength, but actually it's about making the athlete actually robust as well. You can never guarantee that you can eradicate injuries, but you can certainly make them less risk within injury, because that's what we're making them more robust as an athlete.
Don't stop, blah, blah, blah.
Nothing we ever do in here should affect him in his technical training. No DOMs, don't want to make him sore, don't want to risk injury, that kind of stuff. We send him back in to his coaches feeling great, and that's ultimately what the aim is. Ultimately, they're going to go through a lot. Fight or flight stresses you out. Bad weight cut stresses you out. Having a bad day in the gym will stress you out. A lot of them things, if you then don't get everything else right, will boil into lack of sleep. And mental health in combat sport athletes is, it's well known. Concussion has been known to create suicide. As a coach, you've got to be a mentor, a Samaritan, you've got to talk to them, but that's also, if you speak to all the brilliant technical coaches out there, they're doing the same thing. You've got to be able to spot these things, right? So Paddy's been through it, Dan had been through it, Matt had been through it. There's not many athletes I've met in combat sport that haven't been through that tough time. But the very nature of the game is extreme stress. Training load isn't just what the body goes through. Training load's what this goes through.
Brother's Matthew Bonner. He's obviously he does MMA. We kind of both played MMA a little bit. I went away from that to Muay Thai. Matthew stuck with the MMA, became a world champion in his own right as well there. It's funny, we started training when we were 10 and we had no intention whatsoever in fighting or following this sport to where we are now. It just kind of naturally developed into what it is. Even now, all those extra hours where we train in the garage, we train in the back garden, do you know what I mean? That was our life even then. We never really socialised, we never went out nightclubbing, partying, whatever, never messed around. Our whole life centred around working and then it was training. We've always had each other, so we've never had to have 100 friends outside, like in a big circle. We've always just kind of relied on each other, really. My mum took us first because I had a little bit of a scrap in the street. And I just remember a lad, he punched me and I didn't know what to do. It didn't hurt me, I just kind of panicked and was in a bit of shock and just stood there and never did anything. I think my mum was like, yo, I'm not having that. Kind of saw an ad in the paper for kickboxing and said, you're doing that, this Sunday we're going, and it just stemmed from there, really.
So start with the backhand, start with the jab, step across again, and just hit.
This is Dan's local show. This is his home show, as close as it's going to be. So there is a little bit more of a pressure and a dynamic there from home fans. We sold a lot of tickets for this fight, and they're cheering him on. And like I say, that probably brings another dimension of pressure. But you do have to tune out the crowd, and you have to tune in your coach. The weight cut process is almost like the first fight. The second fight is the fight, but the hardest fight possibly, and a lot of athletes will say this is cutting the weight, is being mentally prepared. You know, your diet hasn't been the same, your energy levels aren't the same.
It's a safe sport until you take that professional route and you can elbow each other and you knee each other in the face and stuff. Once you get past that, that's when the injuries will occur. Then when you're fighting at a very high level.
Throwing Bonner, he can't throw wide shots like that and be seen.
He's got. Here's the dynamic of the fight now.
There you go, left hook!
Whoa!
He's on wobbly legs! Ask him to walk forward, he does!
Oh!
Goodness gracious, stop the fight!
I've had torn biceps, I broke my jaw, like I said, I broke both my hands, I've torn both my knees.
Does. There's the elbow.
Yeah, set that with a hand.
Shannon's got him where he wants him, but
You have your niggles, that's the life of a professional athlete. You show me someone who's never been injured, or show you someone who's never achieved anything. That's what happens in these kind of sports. You get injured, you're punching each other and kicking each other in the head, aren't you? It's gonna happen.
It's hard. I try and not think about it too much because then I get too worked up. I've had times in the past where I've got really worked up. I've been watching Dan's opponents and I've not got a clue. I'm not a fighter. But yeah, it's a big one. But Dan, again, he's up early in the morning. We don't see him. He's back late at night. When Dan's doing a weight cut, me and Isla move out. Dan just needs to be selfish and concentrate on himself. And we afford him that time. It's hard because it's not the end of the fight. For people that go and watch Dan, it's just the end of the fight, whether it's a good outcome or a bad outcome. But constantly throughout the fight, I'm thinking, if the outcome isn't what we want, how's that going to be now at home for the following days, the following weeks? How are we going to make sure that Dan smiles, he's happy, he processes what's gone on? Walking down the street, you would never dream that he was a fighter. And the amount of people that comment saying, when, like my friends, when they see Dan with Isla, they would never believe that he would then step into a ring and be the person that he is. And Dan's dad always says that when Dan steps into the ring, if you watch his eyes, he turns into a shark, and it's right. And that's the only time that you ever see that look on Dan's face. And then at home, yeah, completely different person, chilled.
He's doing it for him, and he's very selfish, and he has to be very selfish because that's what fighters are. And he's doing it for him. There's nobody else. He might paint it that it's for somebody else, and he's lying, but it's for him. It's absolutely for him. And as a fighter, you are that way. It's ingrained into you, because if you're not selfish, you're not getting up and running, you're not getting up and doing your extra strength and conditioning, you're not doing all these things that you need to do. You could prioritise time away from it because you're selfish, you do it. And you have to do it because the pressure and the reward for it is immeasurable.
These comments. What are we doing here, Dan? Just going to do our bath first. Should only need to do one tonight, one in the morning. I've already sauntered off today. Got about 2.5 kilos, so nothing mega. Should do a dead easy cut. It's just showed all the acclimation baths that I've done on the lead up. Obviously, the acclimation baths get you used to sweat and get you more efficiently going in the sweat. It really paid off this time. This can go wrong. There is people that I've personally been around who have really suffered doing the weight baths and the water loads and the water cuts and stuff. And I had a teammate who nearly died doing one. He passed out in the bath. He collapsed. He was unconscious for a good amount of time, and unfortunately had to go to hospital and lost the chance to fight. But it could have been worse. He could have lost his life.
Alexa, set a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
It's a tricky one because there's different conflicting ideas. Like, a lot of fighters want to get the weight off just so mentally they know that they're close to weight. But ideally, you probably want to do most of your butt cut the morning of the weigh-in. The cut is the fight before the fight. It's for most fighters, it's the hardest part.
Traffic's terrible, mate.
Yeah.
Traffic's rubbish.
Let's you guys on the scales first, please.
Yeah, so is it?
It's difficult to pound of maths, not worth taking the risk.
I would have bet it on myself as well. But yeah.
Get small ones, icing on top, trying. That's really beautiful.
Let's have it.
Please, yeah, good one like that. Yeah, good luck.
So, mate.
Last 10.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Good lad.
Big day today now.
I was supposed to fight for this world title last year in November. Went all the way to Australia to fight for this belt, and the guy I was supposed to fight pulled out the day of the weigh-in, so the day before the fight.
Enjoy yourself though, yeah? Do what you do, see you later.
Kind of like a second chance at this. If you ask anyone what would you say would the pinnacle of the sport would be, I think a lot of people would say WBC World Title. This one would sit on top of the tree for me. This would be the biggest one. This is the one I've wanted.
Can be as the best you've ever been. This is the best you've ever been. You're fucking 8 months in the wait, 9, 10 months in the waiting for this. Yeah, the best performance you've ever been comes up right now. All right. There's a reason why you're in this position. Yeah. and here especially, go and prove to everybody. No doubts, no questions. No, them going back to Cyprus saying, oh, he won because he was English. Yeah, take him to school.
And it's time to meet his opponent and fellow contender for the WBC Super Middleweight World Title. Representing Majestic Gym, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Daniel
Kick! Foul! Yeah! Double jump Muay Thai! Better. Still a bit wild. Arms down. He's rushing, so you've got the teep on. You're rushing, he's rushing, so we can move. You don't have to get into that wall with him. Squeeze. I've got it.
The only time you're vulnerable is when you're rushing. If you keep the shots tight, he comes into everything, yeah? That left kick lands every time.
Pick him apart now. He's tired now. He's tired. Pick him apart. Yes. Hook and kick. Kick. His foot. With every mistake that he makes, one another, the more you ease in. Forward, boom. Keep the pressure going. It's on. Kick. Kick on the end. Jab and kick. 1-2 kick. Get off there. Knee down. Over push.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and acknowledge the supreme efforts of both contenders here. What a contest! Well, ladies and gentlemen, the contest for the WBC Super Middleweight World Title goes the distance, so we go to our judges at ringside for their decision. They judged the bout in favour of your winner and new champion, Daniel!